everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den and welcome to another Sunday video. Here we are already in July. Wow, where's the time going? And it's getting closer to my holiday. So this card I'm going to show you today is called, I'm calling it, because the lady that designed it, whose name for the life of me I cannot remember. Her name is Mary something or other, Medell or something like that. I will put it down here at the bottom here with the links and everything. So, and it is on the written tutorial. Excuse me. Got a bit of a frog in my throat today. It's cold. Okay, so I'm calling this envelope card. Now I've done two, but I'm only going to open one. This I will open them both. So it comes with this lovely ribbon around it, and it opens up, and it is a card that doesn't stand up on its own, but it doesn't need to because it stands like this and it's just beautiful. You can always pull this piece over so you can have people can see it. But in here, and I've put a little Velcro dot on there, it has another card which you could put a nice gift card or something onto it. So this was my first one that I did, and I was really happy with it. But there was a few little tweaks I wanted to make, so I did. And let me pop that one out of the way. Over there. On this one I did the few little tweaks. I didn't put my thing on there yet, but I put my card on top of a card so that it just finished it right off. But I don't think I've got my corner around here, so I might just have to run off and get that in a moment. Oh, and my envelope board. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave that there for you for a second while I just go and get those few items. There we go. So I've got my envelope board and my corner rounder, which I'll pop somewhere if I can find somewhere to put them. Whoa, not on top of there, that will collapse. Okay, sorry about that. So as I say, this is called an envelope card. Now there's a lot to it, so it's going to be a bit of a longer video than I normally do, but I will show you what I'm going to use first. Let's close that one up and pop that out of the way. I didn't like this ribbon on this one either. It's too thin. I think it needs thicker ribbon, because as I tie this to do this up, it actually is hard to tie to do up, for one thing, and it actually just manages to damage the bottom of the card just there. But that's okay. So we're going to be using this new set called Rest, Relax and Enjoy. So I've already stamped and cut out all the pieces for that because it's fussy cutting, so you don't need to see me do that. So I've cut out, I'll show you what I've cut out. I've cut out these little bottles here with the dropper on the top. This cream bottle here with the lid on it, and some with the candles in it, because I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use. So I've got that, and then 3 of these bottles here with the pump action on the top. And I know that I'm going to use these 2 pieces here, which is the cream bottle and the one with the eyedropper thing on the top for the front of my card. But the rest I'm not sure, so we will go through that together when we get that far. So, and I'm going to be using both of these sayings, which is rest, relax and enjoy, and then treat yourself. I'm also going to be using the pansy patch for this one here, saying wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you. Now that's retired, and I'm going to be using stitched rectangles which are also retired. Now don't go fretting if you're unsure, because you think, oh no, it's with a punch board and I don't have that punch board. In my instruction sheet I have instructions for making the envelope, which I've got here, so I can go through it with you afterwards, without the punch board. So I will pop that on one side for now, and we'll go through what we need. And I'm afraid there are quite a lot of pieces. Okay, let's pop them out of the way, and my Velcro and everything. Okay, let's pop these over here in this order like so. Alright. Okay, to start off with, you're going to need a main card that measures 10 3/4 by 6 inches. And then for your flaps out either side, you're going to need 2 pieces that measure 6 3/4 by 3.5. For your inner center piece, you're going to need a piece of card that measures 5 3/4 by 3 3/4, and a white piece for doing your stamping on that measures 5.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to sneeze in a moment. I can feel it. Excuse me. Oh, yuck. Anyway, let's carry on. For my flaps, let me get those bits. We're going to be using 4 pieces of card that measure 3 1/4 by 2 3/4. Now the 3 1/4 is the length, you know, the height. And then you want 4 pieces of DSP that measure 3 by 2.5. Now I've got the same DSP, but I'm going to use half of it one way and half of it the other. So I'm going to pop them on there like so. For the inner bottom flap, you're going to need a piece of card that measures 5 3/4 by 3.5. And then for your envelope, which I will show you, I will make the envelope on the envelope card, but I will show you how to do it without that. You'll need a piece of card that is a piece of DSP that is 7 by 7. Don't worry about all these measurements because they are in the tutorial on my Facebook group. For the outer bottom piece, which is this section here, you'll need a piece of card that measures 5 3/4 by 3.5 and a piece of DSP that measures 5.5 by 3 1/4. Now what's this? Oh, this. And then for my top, I got the wrong bit. Sorry, 5 3/4 by 3.5 and 5.5 by whatever that was, 3 1/4. For the top part, you'll need a piece of card that measures 5 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then your DSP measures 5.5 by 2.5. And for your inner card piece, you'll need a piece that measures 5 1/4 by 3 and 5 by 2 3/4. You're also going to need a piece of ribbon which is about 24 inches long, which you're going to cut in half. A Velcro dot or a magnet, whichever you want, and then your sentiment tags, however you're going to do them. So I'm going to leave my sentiment tag bits over there and my ribbon. And even if you are making your envelope by hand, not on a machine, on the punch, you're going to need a piece of DSP that measures 7 inches by 7 inches. So I'll pop that on one side because we'll make the card and then I will explain this, because we will make that last. Okie dokie, so let's pop them on one side in this order so I can see where I'm going. Oops. And we're going to bring in our scoreboard. Oh, when I can pick it up off the floor. There we go. And we're going to score our main piece of card on the long side at 3 inches, making sure we use the small ball because we're using cardstock, and 7 inches. And while we've got this here, we're going to use our pencil and we're going to mark down on this 3 inch side at 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to use my ruler to pop there so that I know that it's along that same line, and just put a mark this side too. I can double check that that's 1.5. Yep. And then I'm going to turn it the other way, and I'm going to put a mark across the top on that 3-inch side with my pencil at the 3-inch mark. Okay, so we're going to pop that on one side for a minute, and we'll do our other bit of scoring, which is our 2 pieces of flap, and we're going to score these again with the small ball at the 3-inch mark and the 6-inch mark. So you've got a nice big 3/4 of an inch of flap on the end. So 3, whoops, go all the way down, and 6. And that's all the scoring we're going to do. So let's pop them out of the way, and we can fold and burnish these pieces here, which are all the same way, which are all mountain folds. No, sorry, that's not. It's a mountain fold and a valley fold. Not with it today. Mountain and valley. So we're going to do the same again. Valley fold and a mountain fold. And they're done, out of the way, ready. So we can pop them on one side. Now we're going to bring in our main card piece, and from these marks here we're going to use our trimmer, or if you feel confident about doing it with scissors you can, but I don't. So I'm going to go from that 3-inch mark in the middle down to that 1.5-inch mark on the side, and I'm going to cut off that piece. And then I'm going to do the same again from that 3-inch mark in the middle to the 1.5-inch mark on the side, and cut that off like so. So we've got an envelope shape at the top here. So let's pop them pieces in the bin. This over here, and I'll just rub those marks off so that they don't get seen. And we can now start on our card. So we can now fold this card. So we're going to fold it as a valley fold for the top one, and a valley fold for the bottom one. Okay, once we've done that, we're now going to bring in our 2 sides, and this is where we are going to make sure that they do not come over the edge here. So I'm going to get my glue, and let's hope it's not all gone yucky because it's so cold out here. And it doesn't want to come out today. Doesn't want to come out and play. Oops. It will do once it warms up. Okay, that little bit over the edge, I'm just going to wipe off. So I'm going to fold that over, and I'm going to lay this on here between the 2 here. So just line it up as best you can, making sure that it butts up against this edge here. Once you're happy with that, we can then give that a good burnish down, and we can pop that, fold that over like so. So then we're going to do the other side. I'm not worried about bits on there because of the fact that we're going to put layers on it. And there we go, look, there we go, it's starting to come out nicely now. And we're going to do exactly the same again. But this time, when we pop it in here, we're going to make sure that we're going to fold that one down. We butt it up against that one there, so that they line up. And then once they're lined up, we can make sure it's lined up with this edge over here. So there should be like a tiny little gap there, but you want this to line up top and bottom here and here, like along this line here and here. It just looks so much neater. Once you're happy with that, we can then pop that down the same as the other one, making sure that that's not over the edge, which it isn't. And we can pop that one in there like so. So that's basically our card done. So we're going to start with our layers on the inside here. So I'm going to put these on So we've got 4 layers, 4 pieces, and I should have done half of it beforehand. So we're going to do 2 with that one and 2 with this design. Alright, let's have a look at these pictures and see which ones look the best. That one goes with that one, so I'll pop that one over there, and that looks more like that one. So right, on we go. And as I say, if you don't want to watch me pop all these on, because I should have done some of them beforehand, you can always whiz past me till we get to the next section. Now you won't want to put too much height on the inside of the card, because if you put too much height on the inside of the card, it's going to make it even more bulky than it already is. So, and we don't want to do that, do we? Oops, got the wobbles there, didn't it? Okay, so that's those on there. Oh, that one's a bit wonky, isn't it? That one's on a little bit wonky, and I don't like that much wonky. I know that it's handmade and people expect it to be not 100%, but that was a little bit too out. Alright, so we've got those, and we're now going to pop these on. So it's up to you in which order you put them, or if you want to, like I did on the others, I actually did all 4 the same way. So we're going to lay that down flat and pop them on like so. Now the glue doesn't want to come out. There we go, there it comes. Don't fall on the floor pieces. I don't want to have to work out which piece goes with what. Just remember, if you have a directional paper like I have here, that you put your direction the correct way. So the longest end side is the portrait side. Okay, so that's that piece done. We're now going to pop this piece in the middle, so we're going to pop our little saying on this one, which is going to be in Night of Navy, wherever I did with it. And I'm going to put rest, relax and enjoy. Now I just put blue all over my fingers, which wasn't very clever, was it? Well, that didn't come out very nice either, did it? Oh, there we go. We can prove that we can use the other side. That's better. Let's pop that in away for a moment and glue that to the card. And I'm not liking the fact that this is not coming out again. There we go. Cold weather go away. At least in a few weeks' time I'll be going away where it's nice and warm. Okay. Pop that one down and glue that into the centre. And that will hide your flaps. See how well that hides those flaps in there? Okay. Now we come to the piece where we've got our envelope. So we will pop this piece in the bottom here and put our envelope piece of card, of DSP on the side because we're going to be doing that after. So, I don't know why this is going today, but never mind. Okay, so that's the inside of our card except for our little saying up here, which we'll do after. So we're now going to work on the outside of our card. So we're going to work on the bottom piece, the two pieces top and bottom at the same time here. So we're going to use some double-sided tape and through the middle here on this section, so you can eyeball it or you can actually mark it if you want with a piece of tape there, and another piece in the center here. Just making sure you're not right at the top and the bottom because of your layers going on. And we'll give them a nice burnish down. And we're going to bring in our ribbon now, and we're going to just cut this in half. So I'm not going to trim this end until we finish, so that it's nice. Oh, look at that, I've got bits on my fingers and everything, and I'm going to just cut that in half. Alright, this is where it gets a little bit weird, or it seems a little bit weird. Now I'm going to put the wrong end, or the horrible end, which I'll just cut those little bits of at the top so it gets hidden, and pop that in there like so. Oh, wrong way round. Oops, wrong way round. Like so. And when we pop the other one in, we're going to pop that in the same way. We're going to pop that in so that it faces the same way as that one. Now that might look funny, but when you have your card done, so out the top and out the bottom. Alright, so we pop those on one side. We don't need the double-sided tape anymore. And we're going to pop our pieces on the bottom here. Now this time, because this will be folded this way, we need to make sure that our pattern is the correct way up. So let's glue these two pieces together. And I'm going to close that over like that so that I know which way it goes, and then I will open it up so I know. I'm going to pop that in there, making sure that our ribbon doesn't show at the top there. If it does, just bring it down a tiny bit with your finger so that it's inside. And that is the bottom outside of our card, and as you can see, it's up the correct way. Alright, so now we're going to pop this on one side, and we're going to work on our two pieces for our top. Now, I wanted my top to have the lines on it, so that's what we're going to do. So, oh, excuse me, I've got an itchy nose today. I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to mark the top, this layer, which is the 5 3/4 by 2 3/4 piece, and I'm going to use my pencil, and I'm going to mark this at 2 7/8 of an inch on the top. And then from the bottom, so I'm going to turn that around, I want to mark at 1 1/4 inches from the bottom. Not the top. So it's 1 3/4 inches up from the bottom. Then with my other piece, I'm going to mark this at 2 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to bring it in from the bottom again at the 1 inch on both sides. Then I'm going to do the same as I did on the top of my envelope card, as I'm going to cut off from, oops, that section like so. And again from that section, oh excuse me, down to that section. And that will fit on the top of my card here just beautifully like so. That is a little bit low, so I am actually going to have to bring that in a bit. That's fine. I'll just pull that up and trim that off. I can see that that's going to be too long, so I'll pull that up and trim that off. There we go. Alright, so I've done that one, and now I'm going to do exactly the same on the other one. So from that middle section down to that 1 inch mark, and it's 1 inch from the bottom up. Make sure you do it from the right end, this end, so that you've got a longer end that you're cutting off. And again on this side. That will then fit on top of that nicely like so. Okay, so it's always measuring from the bottom up on the sides. That is actually put onto the written tutorial as well, so that we know exactly what we're doing of. And there is, I believe I've put photos in there, diagrams in there, so I'm just getting those marks off, and then we will pop these two together. That bit of there, let's just turn that over and give that a squish down. Now I'm going to bring this in, and again, if you had cut paper that was directional, that you wanted it in a certain direction, I'm going to bring that down a little bit more and trim that off. There we go. Now I'm going to glue that onto there. You would put that in the correct orientation. But as I used the stripes, I didn't need to worry about it. Okay. So, now this is why you need to put that other piece on that way, because that will then come down there and will tie the correct way. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to do our little saying on there and on the front, and then we will do our envelope piece all together. So I'm going to use this piece here, and I'm going to put on here, treat yourself. And I'm also going to put the rest, relax and enjoy on this piece here as well. That's the piece that goes inside the envelope. While I've got that, I'm also going to stamp this piece, which is the wishing you. I'm sure that fits on there. Yes, it does. Okay, so that's all my stamping done now. So let's stamp, push that one out, punch that one out. So that one's going to go on the inside. This one's going to go on the outside. So. Alright, so they're all ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this one in half and glue these two pieces together so they've got time to dry. And then we will do our decorating right at the very end. I'm popping that on there like so, and again like this. Then I'm going to put my pin in my glue because at this stage I don't need it anymore. Get in there. There we go. So I've got all my sayings ready. So let's pop them all on one side, and we're going to work on our envelope. Alright, so I will make the envelope on the punch board. So I need my instruction sheet so I can remember what sizes they are. Now what did I do with the punch board? Here we go. Oops. Alright, so mine's memory keeper's board, but they all work the same way. This one's good that it has the extra arm out that side. That's what I liked about it. So I'm going to pop this in my board at the 2 3/8 mark, and then I'm going to score it and punch and turn it. And if you can't remember what to do, where that score line is, when you turn it anti-clockwise, you line that up with this mark here, which means that it will be about the 4 3/4 inch mark on there, but we don't need to worry about that. And we're going to punch it again. We're going to turn it around, and we're going to line it up with that score line again, and we're going to score it and punch it. And then we're going to line it up with that score line again, which is not really easy to see on this paper, believe it or not. Score it and punch it. Once we've done that, we'll pull our board out of the way, pop it away, get in there, get rid of all those bits there, and then we can fold and burnish all these score lines. Oh, we still needed our punch board. Now we're back again, fixed it. I don't know why, but I read the wrong measurements. This should have been 2 3/4 inch. So 2 3/4, we pop it in the machine, score, and then turn it, and so on and so forth, the same as we did before. But 2 3/4 inch. Don't ask me where I got the other measurement from. So I've actually done that now. So this envelope actually goes together nicely. Alright, so we are going to pop our tape on these sections here. Oh goodness, this tape is sticky on the sides here, and it sticks to everything, including me. So I will make sure that the correct measurements are in the written tutorial for everybody. But if you're doing it just from here, it's 2 3/4. I will try and edit that so that I get the sizes correct. Fold that over, bring it in, fold this one over and bring it in, so you've got a nice envelope shape. Alright, we're going to put our little Velcro dot on the top of that. Let's pop that bit in the bin. Just up the top here. And bring that down. Once we've done that, we now bring in our card again. Oops, you lot go over there. That's better. And that's going to now sit in there like so. Just in there like that. So we're going to glue that so along what would really be the front of the envelope in real life. Oh, come on, glue. Don't you play up now too. Thank you. And it's a very tight edge around this, so I could have made that a bit bigger, I guess, but I didn't. Get out of there. Alright, so while that's like that, what I'm going to do is I'm now going to bring in my corner rounder, and you've got to open it before you can use it, and just round the corners on this. Round the, oh my goodness, what is this today? Why doesn't this corner rounder like me? This corner rounder definitely doesn't like me. Let's see if it works better on this one. No, it's a horrible corner rounder. I don't know where I've got this one from. It's not the one I normally use. And I can't find that one. Alright, so I've done those. And we're going to do these ones too. Only because it looks nice. Just didn't like that white paper. There we go. Get those out of the way. And I'll glue these two pieces together. Oh, we've had a few hiccups in this card, haven't we, dear? Hey, I don't know. Never mind. We've got there in the end. That's the main thing. Alright, so that card will fit inside there. That will fold down like so. I have this nice one that says, wishing you a little extra happy birthday, happiness, relax, rest, relax and enjoy in the middle. So I'm just going to pop this in here, at the top. We can fold this in like so. Bring the card over, and we can fold it and tie it. I can tie it in a bow if I tie it the right way around for me. I can hear the garbage men outside. I don't know if you can hear them. Alright, so this is our one for the top. I'm going to pop these here like so. Yeah, I'm going to pop this one down low, like so. And then the other one I'm going to pop up on some dimensionals. I've got no fingernails, they've all broken off. I just hope they all grow back before I go on holiday. Nothing's worse than having no fingernails. You can't pick anything up. I can't even pull the backs off the dimensionals. That's how bad they are. Never mind, these things happen. Alright, so that's my bit in there. Now I've got some gems. These are really old ones. These are called holiday rhinestones, but they're nice in the night of navy. So I'm going to pop some of those on the front of my card. I'll use a couple of these smaller ones as well. And that's the outside of my card. Now with my other bits here, I can now work out whether I'm going to pop some of these on the inside or not. So I will actually pop one of these bottles on the side here like so. So I'm going to just glue them down flat because I don't want anything to be bulky on the inside. And these I had to fussy cut with those on that side there. Better bring my rubbish bins in soon, by the sounds of things. And that's the inside of my card done. Now if I wanted to put something on this one I could, but I will actually leave that one plain. So that's our card for today. There's my other bits and pieces. So I can pop them on one side for another project. I might even put a few bits on these ones. Who knows? Oh, that's a little bit big. I could cut that off so it looks like a lid on the bottle. We'll see. Okay, so that's my card for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's card, even with all the messing around, and I'm so sorry about the envelope, but it is 2 3/4 of an inch. And I will make sure that that is mentioned. That's the card. It's called Envelope Card. I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, I'd love you to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I do understand if you think this is a bit messy for you, and you was like, oh, carry on, why don't you, woman? If you like the written tutorial for this, head down below and you'll find Di's Den for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials, which is my Facebook group, and you'll find that the written tutorial will go live the same day, the same time as the YouTube video. So I will see you all again next week. Bye for now. Hi everyone, I decided that I would do a separate little video on the side for this envelope, which I will add on to the video, but I did it separately so that we could see where it's going. So this envelope that you're making by hand, not on a machine, will still fit our little card inside it. Now I've actually put that bottle on there. I'll show you the finished product afterwards. So we're going to start with our piece of designer series paper that measures 7 by 7, and we're going to pop this onto our board or with a ruler, and you're going to mark along one edge at 2 3/8 of an inch and 3 inches, and you're going to mark that 1 and 2. You're going to turn it clockwise, and you're going to pop this in, and you're going to measure again at 4 3/4 of an inch. Don't worry that these measurements don't look right on here, they are right. And you're going to mark that as 3 and 4, and then you're going to turn clockwise again, and you're going to turn it and measure at 2 3/8 and 3 inches, and mark that 5 and 6. And then once more you're going to turn it again, and you're going to measure at 4 3/4 of an inch, and mark there 7 and 8. Now I found the easiest way to do this was to measure, to use a ruler and pencil, and you're going to then make a score line or draw a line so that you can score it later from 1 to the 4. So we're going to mark from 1 to 4 and draw a line. Then we're going to mark from 3 to 6 and draw a line. And then we're going to turn it again, and we're going to go from 5 to 8 and draw a line. And then from 7 to 2 and draw a line. Then you can score all of those. Before you do any more than that, you're then going to trim off 1/8 of an inch on all 4 sides. I don't know why, but if you do it the same size as the other one, it just doesn't work out. So it's 1/8 of an inch off all 4 sides. Then where all of these triangle pieces are, you're just going to get your scissors and cut in on both of those like that, on all sides. Round the edges, then fold this up and fold it in like so. Once you've done that, this goes onto the card the same. This will fit in here just as well. Look at that, see, it just fits in there perfectly, and it fits onto the card exactly the same way. It's exactly the same size as that card. That's why I don't understand why I have to cut off 1/8 of an inch all the way around, but I do, because if I don't, and then it doesn't fit. I don't know why. So that's how you make that envelope without an envelope board. It is really quite easy. So don't be daunted about the card if you can't do the envelope. If you wanted to do this and make it a template and then and then put it onto a piece of 7x7 or whatever, you can do that so that you've got this for other times, so if you make this card more than once. But that is the best way to do it, by hand. So let me just show you. I finished this card off. I put a little thing on that one. So let's pop that inside there. Then I cut the tops off those bottles and pop them on there with the candles and the other bottles there and those ones in there, like so. So that was my card, and that was called, if you remember, envelope card. And I'd love to thank the lady that did this. So I will actually put a big thank you at the bottom, down the bottom there, and I will send her a picture of what I've made. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that you will give this one a try. Even if you don't have the envelope punch board, you can do it by hand, as I said. And you can do like I did, have made a template, or you can do it on your designer series paper directly. But just make sure if you're doing it on that you put that all on the inside, and then all you have to do is rub off this line and this one, those ones, because the others won't be seen. So, and it fits on there just as good. And I will see you again next week. Bye for now.